Baseball to football, where we got a blockbuster trade yesterday. Bo Nix gets a new receiving target as the Broncos acquired Dolphins wide receiver Jaylen Waddle and a fourth-round pick. Denver sends over their 2026 first, third, and fourth-round picks in the deal. We bring in our football crew and Riddick. Lewis, what does this addition of Jaylen Waddle do for Bo Nix and the Broncos offense?
Look, you have to really like it, Peter, because of the fact that he really does give them a third-level threat with the kind of speed that he has that they really don't have on the roster right now. Now, they've been a team that's been able to push the ball down the field. Bo Nix last year and on attempts 21 to 30, he was top 10 in number of attempts. He was number one, I believe, in touchdown passes traveling 21 to 30. His QB rating was top 10. So this is a team that has shown you the ability to push the ball down the field to guys like Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. I mean, those guys have been able to get down there. Pat Bryant has had some success as well, but none of them have the kind of skill that Jaylen Waddle has. This guy has game-changing type of speed. He has the kind of speed that makes defensive backs, once they see number 17 out on the football field, they deepen up their alignment by 2 to 3 yards and are automatically starting to look for help going, hey, look, man, you can't leave me alone with this guy. And if you're in press coverage, you better not miss the jam. So, look, if you're Sean Payton right now and Davis Webb, their new offensive coordinator, their new play caller, they're kind of liking what they have right here.
Yeah, and Harry, a first-round pick seems pretty rich for Jaylen Waddle, but yet you were in the pre-show meeting saying, well, no, Waddle's that guy.
Yeah, no, I love this for the Denver Broncos. Number one, it adds instant explosion to their offense, something I thought they were missing last season. Himbo gave me a stat. They were 15th in explosive plays last year. That's about average in the National Football League. But you have a guy that can beat you short, intermediate. He can beat you deep. Like Lewis alluded to, if you don't get your hands on him in press coverage, touchdown is going to be every single time. Go ahead and start the band. And what I love about it is that he can take any route the distance for a touchdown. I think about him playing my team, the Atlanta Falcons, last year, and we call this a drift route, a 5-step post. And instantly, as soon as he catches it, it's to the house.
Yeah.
This is the ability that Jaylen Waddle provides to the Denver Broncos. He's a guy that you can line up wide, you can line up in the slot, he can catch footballs over the middle. And I love the way Miami utilized him. We call these condensed splits. If you're a single receiver, nasty. If it's two receivers, classy. And you can put him in motion. You can utilize him in a lot of different ways. And I'll tell you this, if you're a secondary player and you're in your back pedal and you don't get out of your back pedal, you're also going to strike up the band in that capacity as well, too.
Kmart, it was a first, a third, and a fourth. That's a lot. What does it say about what Denver's looking to do this year?
So I'm glad that you finally brought up the compensation, because I think a lot of people are going to look at that compensation and say, ooh, that's pretty hefty. But the Broncos picking 30th. And now, you flip that pick, and now you've got a proven commodity. You have an instant playmaker, instant upgrade on this roster. Last season, Bo Nix completed less than 39% of his passes, 20 yards or more down the field. Not good enough. You look at an area of weakness, a lot of drops by their wide receivers last year. Bo Nix, a lot of inaccuracy. I love Bo Nix, but there was inconsistent play. And now here's Jaylen Waddle, who only helps to make Cortland Sutton better, because defenses can't just key in on Cortland. They say, oh, we got to pick our poison here. And this is a team that is all in. If it wasn't clear, by Sean Payton getting rid of his OC, wide receivers coaches, other coaches, and promoting Davis Webb to play caller. That's huge.
I would say this. A player like Jaylen Waddle forces a guy like Bo Nix to say, you know what, I have to be more accurate. Because if you hit a player of his caliber in stride, at any given moment, it can be a touchdown. So now you eliminate going on 10 and 12 play drives when it could just take a 4 or 5 play drive, because you have a player with that capability of taking it the distance.
You talk about accuracy with Bo Nix. Of the 11 regular season interceptions he threw, all of those throws came when he was targeting wide receivers. This is a group that needed to be upgraded, and now they have been.
Lewis, they were an AFC championship team last year. They were right there. They were just a little bit short. Does this trade get them over the top?
It's very likely that it could, as long as Jaylen stays on the football field, as long as they're able to kind of utilize him with those deep shots in a very productive way. The defense is going to be good. You're going to assume that Bo Nix comes back from the injury, and he's going to continue to level up his play as well. And we'll just see what Davis Webb adds in terms of his ability to integrate the run game and the pass game, specifically the play-action passing game. If they can get that going, that's where deep shots come. So, look, I think this team is sitting right there, man. They really are. This could be one of those pieces that really does make them the favorite maybe in the AFC at the beginning of the season.
I would also add to it, I think Jaylen Waddle is underrated as a route runner. You talk about someone who's already a low center of gravity to the ground, but getting in and out of breaks, sinking his hips, and being able to snap routes off in the blink of an eye. That's an underrated portion of his game that I think he's going to be able to provide for Bo Nix, being decisive in route running and understanding the quarterback, the understanding of when that receiver is about to cut things off. I think that's underrated with Jaylen Waddle.
Put a quick button on it. If you're a Broncos fan waking up this morning, you're fired up for Jaylen Waddle?
Oh, you're feeling great. You're jumping for joy saying that we're probably going to win the AFC West again.
Remember when Denver seemed like sleepy this offseason? Well, the Broncos have woken up, and they have landed Jaylen Waddle in a trade with the Dolphins. It's Waddle in exchange for 3 picks, the 30th overall, and picks in the 3rd and 4th rounds as well. Denver gets Waddle and then Miami's 4th round pick, and more importantly, another set of hands for Bo Nix. Here's Jeff Darlington.
Quietly, over the last 10 days, coming off of the scouting combine, they have been in conversations with the Dolphins about making their biggest splash of all this offseason by acquiring Jaylen Waddle. Now, they had sniffed around on him during the trade deadline. Not very much, though. It got very serious, though, this offseason when they realized that they do need someone else to sort of add to this wide receiver arsenal. They've got Courtland Sutton. They view Jaylen Waddle very differently than that. They felt like, yes, they're giving up a first-round pick, but a late first-round pick. And everything they are giving up comes in the later part of that round. They felt like they could justify it that way. Ultimately, no free agent signings, but they feel like the best players are not available in free agency, instead requiring a trade.
I know we speak in monopoly money a lot, but what's truly wild to me is the dead money situation in Miami, because it is now north of $175 million. But keep this in mind. The salary cap next season is $300 million, which means more than half of Miami's cap will be allocated to players who are not even on the roster anymore. On the bright side, they do have 7 picks in the first 3 rounds of this year's draft. Mel Kiper now on the direction the Dolphins could go.
Let's get Malik Willis some help on the offensive side, right? Give him a fighting chance to have some success at the quarterback position for the Miami Dolphins. Go get Jordan Tyson. If he's there coming out of Arizona State, think about what he did 2 years ago. 75 catches in 2024, 15-yard average per catch. He was great with Sam Levitt that year. He is a beast after the catch. The only issue is durability. Had 3 different injuries at Arizona State. If he can stay healthy, he can have one heck of a career in the NFL and then get the edge rusher. So go from the wide receiver to Keldrick Falk, defensive end out of Auburn, who looks the part. You talk about size, athletic ability. The talent that he showed in 2024 when he had 7 sacks indicated that he could maybe get 10-plus sacks this year. That didn't happen. Overall, though, with the talent, you roll the dice and you can put it all together, and the NFL will become a productive player.
So here is Mel's latest mock draft, because there are some pretty big changes at the top. It's from Nando Mendoza. He remains number 1 to the Raiders. But the next 5, they've actually all changed, included in that David Bailey at number 2 to the Jets and Jeremiah Love now at 4 to the